Hello. Welcome to Diaries and Discussion. That's the camera there. I'm your host, Kezia Warren. We're back behind the shed, continuing to weed. I'll show you the progress I've made. So, that whole area, down to the furthest bit of green, where there, I have weeded. And now I'm just going through again because the rain has come and there's little weeds popping up again. And so I'm doing what I said I would do, and I'm weeding around the grass so that it has a clear path. And as you can see, the grass is trailing off. It's going in this direction. And yeah, it is a slow but sure success. Today, I'm not sure when this video will come out, but at time of recording, it is the afternoon of the Gimoy Cairns Eco Fiesta. Some of my wonderful friends, comrades, and in fact my family went along, and I had every intention of going. However, it's a slow day for me, and I need to protect my mental health. So I'm at home. I haven't been doing a whole lot. I was doing some video editing earlier, but I ended up deleting it. It was for a project. It was just random shit, really. But enough about that. I've got other projects to work on, such as other things. I don't want to talk about projects. That is to say, I'm not going to talk about other projects. Today, I'm just here talking about weeding as I do it. It's difficult to... I'm having difficulty with hope, which leads me to doom scrolling on my phone. I've deleted the Instagram app today to avoid it, to avoid doom scrolling again. I'll have to download it and delete it again in a while, so that I can post some stuff, but I really do want to avoid it as much as I can. I really ought to. I ought to grab something to put these weeds in. I'm not very organized or with it today. Like I said, I'm feeling a bit hopeless. And then I try to distract myself, and then I just end up distracted. I cycle through endless videos on YouTube, trying to find the perfect distraction to distract me from reality, to stop me from thinking about how I'm not making things. I've had to step back from many responsibilities lately because of my mental health. I'm not coping well with that. I'm doing what I can to remain calm externally, but internally, I'm really struggling. Really struggling. So, I'm here and I'm waiting. And I'm smoking. I'm going to get something to put these weeds in. The other container is very full. You probably saw it when I showed you that stretch of where I've weeded. It's quite full. It needs to be dealt with. The thing about one of the weeds that I'm combating is that it's very prolific, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it here before. As I say, my mind is very full, and I'm finding it hard to concentrate. So I'm out here because this is where I can find some peace. It's where I can relax. In the garden. In the dirt. Keeping my hands busy. Doing something productive. Doing something ancient. Might sound funny. Something ancient. But it is. To pull weeds out of the ground. To work with your hands in the soil. It's a very, very ancient practice. And if it doesn't sound strange, it may seem not worth saying. Of course it's ancient. Cares? Well, no harm in repeating the truth, I say. Okay. I'm gonna go get that receptacle and come back with more cigarettes. Stay right there. Hello. I'm back again. Let's see if we can fix this. Ooh, this camera angle. You can see where I'm doing a bit more. Hello. I've got some more Pinto's peanut. I'm gonna put in the ground here. Again, a surefire way to make sure that weeds don't grow is to grow other things where the weeds want to grow. Especially something like Pinto's peanut. It's a as I've said in other videos, it's a nitrogen fixer. Actually, I'm not sure if I've said in other videos. Again, I don't really watch these back much, but anyway, Pinto's peanut is a nitrogen fixer and living mulch, and it serves as a living mulch as well. It crawls and its old leaves fall and become carbon cover, which is the mulch term, the gardening term. It's the gardening term for dry mulch. Carbon and nitrogen. So a nitrogen cover is fresh grass. And a carbon cover is dried plant matter. It's as far as I understand it anyway. I'm no botanist. Just someone who loves to get into the yard and weed. See, my hobbies used to be creative, and some of them still are. But the danger of doing art for work is that, well, things like drawing and stuff, while I still enjoy the meditative process of drawing, it has, any creative process has become enmeshed with the idea of work. For me, how do I make this useful? How do I potentially turn this into something? How do I, yeah, yada yada yada. These are the thoughts that go through my head quite frequently. I think yada 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 is Yiddish. I could be wrong. I recently went with my favorite human, Lucy, to Meanjin, Brisbane. Meanjin is the traditional name. In fact, it's one of the traditional names for one of the lands that Meanjin resides upon, and I'm not going to say any others because I don't know any others. I highly recommend for people to read Indigenous literature. If you're on the same continent as I am, so-called Australia, I recommend you read a book called Dark Emu. And in general, no matter where you are in the world, it behooves us all to become acquainted with First Nations knowledge, because it is the oldest knowledge. I've cut my fringe. I cut it, I think I cut it yesterday. And I'm not quite happy with it. It's a bit uneven, but that's alright. They say the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is 2 weeks. Because 2 weeks is how much time there usually is for things to grow. I'm doing comedy, doing stand-up comedy tomorrow. Yeah. Been thinking about comedy and how that's going to go. I'm a bit nervous. Again, I don't know. You're going to get this video a while after it's recorded. But at time of recording, I'm doing first aid tomorrow, and then following the first aid course, which I'm doing through Mulgrave Landcare. Thank you, Mulgrave Landcare. Because I volunteer with Mulgrave Landcare, there's a number of skills courses that Mulgrave Landcare is helping us do, us volunteers. So if you're watching this and you're in my area, there's a an incentive for you to join Mulgrave Landcare and to do some upskilling. Anyway, yeah, I've had to take a break from a lot of my responsibilities, and one of those was being heavily involved with Shakespeare play, which is being rehearsed right now, and I'm sad that I can't be a part of it. Also relieved. It was becoming stressful, as these things often do, and as I said, my mental health is just not in a good way, so I need to look after myself. I've been given a doctor's note for a year, so I've got quite some time to get better, I hope. But to be honest, it's really hard to fight off the depression and the anxiety that I'm going through. Hence the weeding. I'm not being social and not going to an event that I was very much looking forward to. And that only comes around once a year, so to anyone watching this who went to Eco Fiesta, I hope you had a good time, and know that my FOMO is going hard. FOMO as in fear of missing out. If you're watching this and you don't know what I mean by FOMO. Sorry to show my back to you. Can't remember what I wore last time I did this. Shorts that came to about here, I think. These shorts aren't quite so practical. I've got to crouch like this so you don't see my underwear, so I'm not flashing you. Oh, the joys of wearing feminine clothes. It is therapeutic doing this. Although shortly I'll have to retire because the sun is going to be going down very shortly. It's winter here at the moment, and therefore with the sun, with the earth tilted away, this part of the earth tilted away from the sun at this time of the year, the days don't last as long. That's how it works. As in the earth tilting.